of Pauls Valley, if you'll stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with gratitude for the many blessings of this day. We thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. Grant us wisdom and guide the decisions that we make tonight. Help us to listen with respect and to lead with integrity. Unite us in purpose as we work for the good of our citizens and our community. We ask these things in the name of your beloved Son, Jesus Christ.
Amen. Jazz, if you will reflect our roll call. Item 5, approval of the consent agenda, items A through D.
I move for approval of consent agenda items A through D.
Second.
Probably moved in second to approve consent agenda. Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 6, consideration of board appointments with possible action. Tonight, I have a recommendation for the beautification of Joe Hines, for the tourism, Amy Ritchie, the Donahue Housing, Janice Tate.
Denise.
Janice.
I'll make a motion that we confirm those appointments.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded that we affirm the appointments. Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 7, consideration of approving the May 2026 financial statement with possible action.
Okay, as you notice, we did end the month with a deposit, which is good. We may end the year with a negative number. It's going to be really, really close. We have not made the final transfers from the 1 cent account or for account 18 to move over. You know, that we do that on quarterly, that could come in, but it will be really close. We may end the year with in a positive or could be a negative, but it'll be really close. Till we get through this month, we won't know for sure.
So the lack of the transfers is why it showed with the deficit for year to date.
Right, of the 200, but it's like those transfers will be close, and it also depends on what happens at the end of this month.
How about the big water bill that's owed? Has that been paid?
No, it's not.
That's one of the reasons as well.
That's some of it, right. And that is on negotiations, and we will have a meeting next week with attorneys from all parties. If we look at that, our revenue though, year to date, as this one, our revenue is at 89%. Our expenditures are at 91.35%, which gives us a negative, of 2.35% year to date. So we are really close. We've gone back and forth. It just shows that, revenue is down more than our expenditure. So got to figure out how to get more revenue. So that's, if you have any questions.
I move for approval of the May 2026 financial statement.
Second.
Probably moving to second to approve the financial statements. Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 8, consideration of approving an engagement letter with Crawford and Associates PC for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027 with possible action.
Y'all are all familiar, we've done this many times, our engagement letter, they are our in-house auditing firm and so forth. So basically the engagement letter has a little bit of change, of course, cleaning it up a little bit, but it's pretty standard thing what we've done over the last several years.
I'll make a motion, we approve the engagement letter with Crawford.
Second.
Probably moving seconded to approve the engagement letter from Crawford and Associates, Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 9, consideration of a memorandum of understanding, a MOU, between the Pauls Valley Police Department and the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, OSBI, regarding participation in the Oklahoma Internet Crimes Against Children, ICAC, task force with possible action.
Hello. Okay, so it's pretty simple. This is a task force through OSBI, been no cost to the city of Pauls Valley. The ICAG division is the Internet Crimes Against Children. They receive tips every day, all hours of the day about people being exploiting kids online. They go through those tips, they see what jurisdiction that crime is maybe happening at. If we join this task force, they would give us that tip to where the police department can then start working it. Right now, the only, to my knowledge, agency in Garvin County is the Garvin County Sheriff's Office that is part of this task force. So this will be very beneficial to our kids in Pauls Valley. And that's really all I got. I wish I had a question about it.
I move for approval of the MOU between the City of Paul Valley PD and OSBI for the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded to approve the MOU. Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Item 10, consideration of an ordinance amending section 3-8 of the Pauls Valley City Code, which governs occupational taxes relating to alcoholic beverages, providing for severability and declaring an emergency with possible action.
So, right now, we are going through the process of updating our ordinance and code books. It happens on a regular basis. We're trying to get them all and bring them up to date. During this process of review, we found several, and we're still very early on, but we're finding as we come across. We're finding basically verbiage, and this one was written up and we had it, so certain things were written in it saying like, certain fees would be annually, certain others were just, there wasn't anything. So basically, this ordinance is basically just clarifying it, so it's the same all the way through the ordinance. So that the same verbiage carries all the way through, that's all it is. We're not making any changes to dollars or amount, it's just cleaning up the verbiage from whenever, how many years ago this was.
I'll make a motion, we approve this ordinance.
Second.
Probably moved and saying that we approve action item number 10. Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes.
I make a motion, we declare this an emergency, adopting this ordinance.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded that we declare this emergency. Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 11, consideration of approving an intergovernmental agreement for detention services with the Garvin County Sheriff's Office for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2027, with possible action.
And I don't know if she wants to talk about it or not. Basically, this is the same one we do every year. It's the same one, it's like that if our police department brings someone in. She's gonna talk about it.
I'll just answer questions. What do you need?
So basically, it's the same one we do every year.
I mean, we haven't had any problems with it. We no longer have a jail for the staffing of the police department. That's part of the jail regulations. You have to have someone there to observe the inmates, so we don't have that anymore after losing dispatch. So we're kind of happy with this, or your officers can arrest you back in the or unless we have to take it to another county. We just don't have a name out for that, so.
I move for approval of the intergovernmental agreement for detention services with the Garvin County Sheriff's Department fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Probably move to second to approve action item number 12. Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett, Vice
Yes.
Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes, there was no need there. Item 12, consider and take possible action regarding calling a special city council meeting on June 15, 2026 at 6 p.m. for the first reading and public hearing of the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget.
Basically, this is, we canceled last meeting, we need to do it. We have to have a reading so many days ahead of when, it has to be published, and so many days after that, we have to have a reading. Then so many days after that, we can approve it, that's just this step. So,
I will make a motion that we set that meeting on June 15th.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded to set a special meeting on June 15th. Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Norshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 13, consider and take possible action regarding cancellation of the regularly scheduled city council meeting of June 23rd, 2026, to allow attendance at the Chamber of Commerce banquet, including sponsorship of city tables, and rescheduling the meeting as a special city council meeting on June 22nd, 2026.
So this is coming about, maybe as Chamber changed this year, they kind of missed their date a little bit, but didn't realize that it fell on the same time as our council meeting. Since we do want to support them and so forth, this is why we're like, we move our council meeting, then we can move it, we can continue on our business, plus then we can go and attend Chamber and participate in that, support an organization in our town.
I move for the action to cancel the regularly scheduled city council meeting on June 23rd, so we can attend the Chamber of Commerce banquet, and including the sponsorship of city tables, and then to reschedule a special city council meeting on June 22nd, 2026.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded to approve council agenda item number 13. Councilman Norshall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 14, consider and take possible action regarding approval of a resolution of intent to participate in a grant application for installation of artificial turf on the city's baseball fields.
Okay, so this came about, in fact, Jocelyn, you're the one that brought it to my table, into my office the first time. So the school was approached through their vendor for the football field, and they were able to bring a grant to the city and to our school to help us turf the baseball and softball fields. We've been working on that the last few weeks. The deadline was yesterday, but we did put in, we've enclosed everything, we put in a letter of intent, but the resolution was supposed to be there, but because our council, it didn't go through. But we put in a letter saying that, hey, because of this, we've got a letter of intent already in, the application's already in. We're just now, in our resolution, we'll attach it to that. Supposedly, if this goes through, it will not cost the city anything, and they will turf the baseball field, the softball field. Both of them will become multi-purpose. The baseball field both fields will have a soccer field put on the turf for them as well, walking track around them. It's a several $1 million project that won't cost the city or the school anything.
$2 million project.
Now, the plan is amazing.
Yeah, if you haven't seen, we've had several meetings and this has been a big project. We showed up on my desk, we basically said, we had 5 days to write a 56-page grant. So
I think it's in
what's
association
going on.
with the Big Beautiful Bill. It's like $200 million
Right.
for each state over 5 years.
Right, it ties in the Big Beautiful Bill, and then we're falling underneath it. So the city we are the primary grant writer. The secondary grant writer is Dr. Whitehouse as part of it's his practice tied in with Mercy Clinic. They are the secondary,
The
and
health component of it.
they basically
They also
they
have a school.
I saw that.
So it's, all three of them have to do, it's a three-legged thing, but we are the primary because the school can do it because they don't own it. So we have to do it as a primary, but then they tie together. It's been a big thing. We've had meetings multiple times in the last week. And like I said, we got a lot done, to have this done in a week, it's amazing to get the grant done in basically 5 days.
I thought they were gonna do the practice field too.
That,
Do that.
when we started looking at it, it went above the amount they do it. When they first started the grant, when we first came in and brought to the table, they were like, oh, there's not a limit, but as we proceeded, There is a limit, and the limit basically stops at 2 million. So we've had to shrink what we're able to get done. Now, hopefully we'll get done as much as they were planning. But again, they're saying, the grant is capped at 2 million, and we are asking for the 2 million. But again, it's no cost to us. There's nothing, it's worth a
Huge
try.
improvement.
If they say no, we didn't lose anything.
Yeah, huge improvement in that area.
I was talking to the gentleman yesterday about this, and, the tennis court project we've been trying to do. I mean, it's at like 1.2,
Mhm.
and you could do some other things there, and so we can apply. Talking to him about applying for that next year. Not that, city can do whatever we want to do, but just some thoughts. So
Yeah, there's also, we found, as we've gone through this, when we tied this together, so the Big Beautiful Bill has, and I got my notes in there, it has several different components. We're falling under component 2, I think it's 2, section C for this one. There, we can apply for any component other than 2 if you get this one. So we still may able to fall in that, and we're now exploring what else falls into those other categories. The Big Beautiful Bill, it hit, and it is moving very quickly. So basically, this grant opened up, and it was opened up for 21 days. And we found out about it, by the time we heard about it, we only had 5 days left to put it in. But it was only open for 21 days. By the time they're opening, and it says, once they announce it, here's your opportunity to apply for it. They're typically, once they announce, you have 21 days right now, unless they change it, they close. So it is fast and furious, which is very different than what government usually operates on.
But you're gonna look at the other.
We gotta look at the others, and we'll be exploring every one that we can. Because some of these also fall into some of our infrastructure as well.
That's great.
Uh,
Well done.
Once we found out about it, because again, it was not published like some of the others have been published. It's gone kind of around a different way to find out about it. But it is there, the resolution just is the last part we need to get it all done. Everything's already in. We got it in as of yesterday, basically. I got my confirmation this morning, it was in, they accepted it. Other than our resolution, which we couldn't put in because, we didn't have a meeting, and we had to have those meetings. Okay,
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve item 14 on the agenda. Resolution of intent to participate in a grant for artificial turf.
second.
been probably moved and seconded to approve action item number 14. Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett, Councilman Norshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett, Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 15, discussion regarding the Senior Citizens Center and changes implemented by Southern Oklahoma Development Association, SODA, and the Senior Nutrition Program.
I'll tell you, this one has me bothered a little bit. So are probably a little bit familiar with that SODA is our economic kind of driver group for southeastern Oklahoma. And they also, through the SODA, they run the Senior Nutrition Program. Through changes just in the last few months, the group that does our hot food service and our home delivery service through SODA has pulled their contract, and it is up for bid. So their contract is July 1, so realize how close they are. They have not found someone that's going to take that over. My concern is that, we are not closing the senior center. We hope SODA will work with us and we can get someone to come back in to do this food service. And this is just so that y'all know, there's a lot of rumors. Rumors were first told through the organization that's running it. It walked into our senior citizen that we were closing it, and we're working with them. I'm going out there to have dinner with them tomorrow at noon. Y'all are more than welcome to come out there with me. We're not closing. The city's not closing it. We just put $50,000 in that building as a remodel. I'm not going to close that building, and I don't want to. We don't control food service. That's through code. That's controlled through the food service and the senior, whatever that group is that does it. This has caused some problems, it's caused concerns here locally, because again, we have a lot of seniors that eat there. We, through our local facility provide food to at least 3, if not 4 other communities around us. We also exist our center where we do home delivery for those services outside. I was told that moms, food service, Mom's Meals is who they're going to do that will take over home delivery. I learned a little bit yesterday, kind of concerning that Mom's Meals is a package deal, that they'll bring 2 weeks, they stick it on a person's porch and they leave, the people that are homebound that are getting it, some of them aren't even able to go outside and bring it in. And they might even have a way to heat it up or to remember or know how to heat it up.
That happened once before, and it was microwavable meals, and it was not successful.
Right,
That
and this is,
population.
we're here is to the public so they know that my goal, and I think I will get your support, is to really try to force soda to do a better. I mean, I found, just like this, it's happened in the past, and they would take 2 weeks off, and there were times that they would have a month's worth of groceries stacked on a person's porch. The person there couldn't even, it wasn't capable of getting out and bringing it off the porch. So it sits there and goes bad, and they don't know that they're supposed to bring it in. And there's no one there to cook for it. They don't know how to cook for it. They don't have a microwave where they can.
Freezer space, et cetera.
I'm concerned about that. And then the other side is what's going to happen to our senior center with the people coming in that eat there on a daily basis. It's a large number. I'm working with them, and I'm going to go and I want to convey to our senior citizens that we're going to push as hard as we can. And this is, I think that's what I'm looking for support from council, that as we start pushing soda, that they step up and serve our community at the level it should be.
Is there a time frame where maybe food services would be temporarily affected, or are they
It
already
could be,
stopping?
because right now, so the current company ends July 1. If they don't have someone coming in on July 2, they don't have anything there. Now, SOTA says they will operate at temporary, is what they told me as of Thursday when I talked to them. They will open temporary until they find a contractor. But I'm afraid their temporary thing will be Mom's Meal. They bring them in, there's your box, we have to find someone to heat it up and so forth. There's a lot of questions up in the air. This was a very,
They also receive retail recovery food that's put out on the table. So they'll get produce, they'll get bread, and they can go over and choose whatever they want from that table. We're closed, that's something else they're gonna lose.
right. And I talked to Bonnie about it, because if this happens, it's going to affect their pantry dramatically, because some of these people this is their daily meal. This is their only meal a day. For our
It's only
seniors.
hot meal.
And only definitely only hot meal. And so they may be going like, now they're going across the street saying, hey, I need food. It was very quick. We don't know what's going on. I'm not getting all the answers I need. I don't think SOTA knows everything. There's some stuff about that I don't know. Why was the contract, why was it terminated so quickly? You would think by now they would have been searching this contract for months ago instead of, 2 weeks before the end of their contract, they find out that it's been terminated.
Suspending without another provider.
And so that's something this was here to discuss, because that way, if it comes to you and you hear stuff, you're more familiar with it, but also the support that I need to push SOTA to see how are we going to serve our needs of our seniors. Because it's not just our community, but this is my understanding, even the community, not just our small communities that work out of us, our hub, but a lot of these. I do know that down in the Durant area, they seem to have rolled it over just quick and easy, but it seems like the further away they got, they're running into problems, but I don't think we're part of their organization. They need to make sure we're provided as well as the people in their backyard either, not just.
So no action tonight. You're just letting-
No, this is just discussion, because there's no action to take until something happens, until we know something. But I didn't want y'all to be getting phone calls, because I started getting phone calls last week because they walked into our senior center that we were closing their doors. That was not,
Who was it you said that walked into the senior center and told them it was closing? You said somebody.
Food provider.
the food provider. Food provider passed it, because they're the ones that bring the food, right, and so we don't pay our food for, that business pays, we provide them a building and a location. And that's what they've done, so, I'll be honest, I've never been involved with it much, other than maintenance of the building, and we've done a lot of maintenance of the building recently. There is opportunity that other company can walk away and says, hey, we're gonna take what they put in that building. Which could be, equipment and so forth, because they have invested in that building, they've been there for several years. They may take their equipment and walk out the door. We're trying to get what's inventory, so that if they walk out, we can figure out what to put in. We just put in a new table and a new stovetop. The stove that was there, you drove by, it was outside their field for several days. Massive old stove, I found it moved from the previous senior center. So how old was that stove? It weighed a ton. They had to take it to pieces to get out the doors.
Yeah, our fire department took one for the team on that one.
We just want to make sure that we're moving forward on that, and that y'all are aware of it. That if you do get phone calls or questions, I will try to, as I get information, call me as I get it, but this may change daily. I'm not getting much from them, I call them and I get the same thing. I don't think they know what's going on either. They're either not getting contractors to put in a bid for it, which I do think it'll be difficult. I do hope though that we're able to provide hot food on a daily basis like we have in the past. And I would like to eventually provide something that a boxed meal to, homebound. So that's things what I wanted to report in discussion. Do you have any questions or anything?
Thank you for letting us know. Item 16, consider and take possible action regarding approval of the repair and replacement of the Samaritan Building roof utilizing insurance proceeds received for wind damage at a cost not to exceed $48,000, with the remaining balance paid by the Samaritan organization.
Okay, so, this process has gone on for a while, so the Samaritan Building, went through that wind and hail damage we had a year ago. Insurance has come through, they've paid us, and we have worked with with Pope Roofing, which worked with us. Pope Roofing fought Omega to get us a higher number, and they basically have paid the city $48,000 for insurance to repair the roof. That will not cover the entire cost of the roof because of depreciation. The Samaritans have approached us saying if we were willing to give them 48, they will go out and seek to find other ways to bring the balance, either to repair the roof as one whole time or to break it into phases so that over a period of years, the whole roof is done. That's what this is for, to make sure that we're giving them permission. We're gonna dedicate the 48,000 to them. Samaritans will come up and we'll walk through phases.
What's the total cost of?
Josh Poe spoke with this insurance company, as Joe said, and they initially offered the city $16,000. But it's a pretty tall building with a steep roof, so the total cost of the roof is around $85,000. And Pope Brothers is willing to do it in 3 sections because that roof has 2 wings and then a central peaked roof. And so we have one of our Samaritan, we have several Samaritan volunteers in the room tonight, but Lorraine Walker has written a grant to Amcor. They're a very wonderful sponsor to the pantry, very generous with us. And so they shared with Lorraine, write for the whole roof and see what happens. And we didn't know about the insurance money at that point. So she wrote a grant asking for the entire cost of the roof. And Pope Brothers is willing to do it in 3 sections. Let us pay for this one, move on, pay for the other one, move on, and then do the central section last. But Amcor reached out about 2 weeks ago and wants to do a corporate Zoom call with us because this is a city building that we lease long term, and we are feeding a tremendous amount of people not just in Pauls Valley, but throughout the county, through our building. And Joe is right, our numbers of seniors are growing through that pantry. So if you want to ask Lorraine any questions, she is here to answer any questions, because she wrote that grant.
Appreciate it, writing the grant.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
We do. She's taken really over quite a few of our grants. She just submitted one to OG&E, and they reached out to me last week and said, "Is that you, Bonnie?" And I said, "No, it is our organization. Lorraine Walker wrote the grant. Well, we're gonna go to bat for you. We hope you get that OG&E grant." So she's really doing it. She's done some Loves grants recently at a ton of Walmarts. We spend about $100,000 on food now to that pantry every year. We got to have that grant money. So I have a dog in the hunt for this particular item. I will be abstaining from this decision tonight.
If y'all have any questions, I mean, like I said, Bonnie, Lorraine, there's several people here that know quite a bit more about the roof than I do. I mean, I work with Pope Roofing. Again, this, the insurance only paid about half of it. I think the Samaritans have several ideas on how to pay for it. And that's why we want to give them the choice of either do it all or in phases, probably depending on how they come up with extra money.
So the action would be to go ahead and release the 48,000 to the Samaritans to get their process started.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Probably moved and seconded to proceed with action item number 16. Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mizel
Abstain.
is abstained, Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 17, consider and take possible action regarding approval of a contract with Delta Public Transit for the continued provision of public transportation services for fiscal year 2026 and 2027 in the amount of $17,500.
Again, you're familiar with this one. This is basically, we supplement, Delta Public Transit, give them a certain amount so they can move around our town, move our seniors, not just seniors, but that's who the service most, back and forth to communities here in town and to other communities. This is something, I don't know how long we've done it, but it's been the same, every year it goes up a little bit, but basically it just costs more fuel and everything else, so.
I'm gonna
This is
disclose that I did speak with them today, because they did not address this to you as our city manager. They put someone else's name on there.
They did.
Yes,
It
but
was-
they need to honor your service to our city and address it to you.
And like I said, the other name was previous city managers, just,
They ain't been here a long time though, so.
So, but that's what this is about. It's just basically approving the new agreement, new contract that they have, which is an annual thing.
I move for approval of the contract with Delta Public Transit for fiscal year 26-27, the amount of $17,500.
I'll second.
Probably move to second to approve action item number 17. Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mizel,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 18, consideration of an executive session for the discussion of employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, discipline, or resignation of any individual, salary, public officer, or employee authorized by 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B.
Make a motion, we move into executive session.
Second.
Probably move to second to move into executive session. Vice Mayor Mizel,
Yes.
Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes.
Make a motion to return to open session.
Second.
Probably move in second to return from executive for open session. Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 20, possible action from executive session.
I move for approval of the union contracts for both the police department and the fire department for the next fiscal year.
Second.
Probably move and second to accept the CBA contracts for PD and fire. Councilman Grimmett,
Yeah.
or Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. Item 21, new business.
No new business.
Item 22, I'd like to welcome all our visitors. Thank you for being here. Item 23, city manager comments.
All right, just to fill you in a little bit, our boat dock was installed Friday. It is complete, up and doing. Go look at it, looks great. Our next thing is we would like to apply for the same grant, put a boat dock on the other side of Long Lake. But you go look at it, it's a great looking dock, very nice. They changed a little bit when they came in to install it. They changed the way they installed it, or the way they anchored it a little different. They said it would be better for us, and it's a little bit easier for the boats to get in and out. So, but it's definitely something to go look at. So we can say that's one thing that was on our list that we're doing, is finally done. Spillway, we've got our grant received. Engineering are starting to do, they're reviewing their plan. That's in the process. The engineering group is working with HUD to make sure that the money's beginning to flow. All that's, it's a slow process, but we're getting there as well. Airport concrete is nearly finished. Now it's basically doing a lot of groundwork, but it's coming to a close months ahead of schedule, which will be great when that's done. Again, we're familiar with the water plant. Wall Engineering came to give us a report. They have put in, permitting is done because they put in their first draw for the first money, which will be the phase of where they start finalizing and getting ready to put out contracts. So that's a step up. We talked about the Samaritan building, talked about senior center. Ballpark, we've redone the roof of the concessions. They should have started today, I believe. They got a little postponed. Had some other things that come up with the person that's doing the job, but I believe he started today to remodel the bathrooms, and he got the bathrooms. Been nice if we had it done before baseball, but it's moving forward. That's kind of
We have something to look forward to next year.
something. We talked about the turf grant, opportunity zone. Our nomination is in. It is complete. I got it in last week. It's been accepted. Now we just wait to see how that goes. We did get quite a few support letters. A lot of them from, state legislations, but we also got 2 from, House representatives and senators. So that should go through very well. We applied for a REAP grant to redo lift stations, and we applied for a RIG grant to redo the aerators out at the lagoons, which is part of that consent order, so maybe those will come in as well. I think that's quite a bit. Then, of course, our other stuff, the city is we're moving forward, getting a lot of things done that haven't been done in the past. We've made more repairs and done more maintenance than we've done in a long time. And it's showing on some of our funding, but we're getting it done at a more efficient manner. So it's working out. Okay, that's basically my comments or reports.
Thank you. Item 24, city attorney comments.
No comments.
25, city council comments. I need a motion to adjourn into Falls Valley
I
Municipal.
move we adjourn into Falls Valley Municipal.
Second.
Probably moving to second to adjourn. Councilman Marshall,
Yes.
Councilman Grimmett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meisel,
Yes.
Mayor Rushing.
Yes. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the municipal authority. Chaz, if you'll reflect our roll call. Item 3, approval of the consent agenda, items A through E.
I move for approval of the consent agendas, items A through E.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Trustee Marshall,
Yes.
trustee Meisel,
Yes.
trustee Grimmett,
Yes.
chairperson Rushing.
Yes. Item 4, consideration of approving the May 2026 financial statements with possible action.
Okay, basically, if you look at the numbers are probably doing better. They would be nice, to always be nice to have a little bit higher numbers, but we're moving forward. Things are progressing on a positive manner on that side.
There are no questions. I'll make a motion we approve the May 2026 financial statement.
Second.
Is that your job? Probably moved and seconded, to approve the financial statements. Trustee Meisel,
Yes.
trustee Grimmett,
Yes.
trustee Marshall,
Yes.
chairperson Rushing.
Yes. Item 5, new business.
No new business.
Item 6, trust manager comments.
Nothing we ever talked about, things moved forward, a lot of repairs, we finally got our two big water leaks done. And then today, while I was in another meeting, we had another water leak pop up, I haven't heard as of yet, because that was heard today when that's happened.
Item 7, trust attorney comments.
No comments.
Item 8, trustee comments. I need a motion to adjourn
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Into
Into
to the ambulance district.
district.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded to adjourn into the ambulance district. Trustee Grimmett,
Yes.
trustee Herschel,
Yes.
trustee Meisel,
Yes.
chairperson Rushing.
Yes. Like to call to order the special meeting of the ambulance service district number 1. Chaz, if you'll reflect our roll call. Item 3, approval of the consent agenda, both A and B.
Move for approval of the consent agendas, items A and B.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded to approve consent agenda. Trustee Herschel,
Yes.
trustee Grimmett,
Yes.
trustee Meisel,
Yes.
chairperson Rushing.
Yes. Item 4, consideration of an address by representatives from each EMS service that has submitted a request for proposal and accepting a proposal for ambulance services with possible action.
When I sent these out, I sent 10 RFPs out and got a response from 4 of them. Mercy, AMR, Wadley's, and Miller. And I just like to give them a chance just to briefly speak to their RFP and answer any questions y'all might have. And then once they're through, then we can talk about how we want to move forward. Since they've been here long, so I like Mercy to get started.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate you, sir. Good evening, I'm Scott Killian, Chief Operating Officer for Mercy Hospital. Been over EMS services for a number of years. This is the third opportunity we've had to come before this board to be able to talk about our service. We're grateful to be able to submit an RFP for the continued service within this community, recognize the partnership we have with the city of Falls Valley. We also recognize the changes that have occurred within this community with the closing of the hospital and all patients being taken out of town, that again, we want to continue that relationship with you, be able to provide a bid that is fair and equitable, and be able to continue the 24-hour service that we provided so diligently over the course of time. We've taken time to invest in the infrastructure within our EMS, as the ambulances provided by Falls Valley have been considered considerably aged and antiquated. We have brought over our own equipment, make sure that we can continue the exceptional service that we provide this community. We look forward to continued relationship with this community and be able to serve you and your needs. What questions do you have for me, Diane?
So you're providing us 2 new ambulance, or, let me restate that, 2 ambulances that replaced are old?
They're already in service. So the Pauls Valley ambulances that were provided by the community are still at the station. What I've done is brought in 2 other ambulances to be able to supplement and operate that service line. And so they're fully outfitted with new EKG. They have the power lift. They have the defibrillation devices. They have the Lucas devices, and then exceptional paramedics and EMTs. So I put my team up against anybody in the state. So you've got a good group over here.
So we are still transporting based on the need of the patient?
Yes, ma'am. So they are going to, within the service area, they're either going to Norman Rachel, Mercy Ardmore, or Mercy Ada. They were going to Purcell, but then as we've had the opportunity to talk to patients, that is a lower grade. They're a level 4 emergency rooms versus Norman, Ada, and Ardmore, which are level 3s, which can deliver a higher level of care.
And then we roll with the heart hospital too, should?
Correct. Yep, we either go to heart hospitals depending on cardiac needs, or up to the city should anything else if the patients request either SSM through St. Anthony's or Integris or any other facility.
So if they're able to tell you where they want to go, you will transport?
Yes, ma'am. That is patient right, absolutely.
And some services have like subscription versus membership sort of models. Do you guys have that as
We
an
do not.
option for,
Yep.
just for like citizens?
Correct.
And then you guys are proposing a 5-year term with the escalators in years 4 and 5, correct?
Correct.
Mark, and I'm asking you, and I'll let the other individuals, when they present, when we look at a 5-year contract for Mercy, the other 3, it looked like they were annual terms, but they didn't have any kind of mention of years 2 through 5.
Well, and that, and I've talked to them about that, and that all 4 of them have basically 3%.
Assuming.
Cost
Yes.
increase.
Yes, it's just, well, I take it back, one of them doesn't, the other 3 do, but,
So we'd be negotiating with them every year?
no, it's just, it would be, it'd be, yeah.
And all the contracts would be 5 years that we're looking at tonight.
Yes.
And with our agreement, so the initial agreement, or the agreement that we're working on now that ends in 2026, again, that was a 3-year agreement with a 3% increase each year. So what we've done with our agreement, we've backed up and come back to where we initially started. It'll be a 3-year agreement, or a 5-year agreement, where the first 3 years with no changes, then year 4 and 5 with a 3% increase.
So what have you noticed about fuel costs? Are y'all able to absorb the
We are,
crazy situations going on?
again, fuel costs, expenses in repairing equipment, rent, the increased repeater fees for the dispatch service that's gone up. So, anything that we've been able to, anything that's changes within the course of this agreement, we've been able to absorb and adjust to continue that level of service. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Miller.
That'll be fairly brief. Jeremy McLemore from Miller EMS. We're a small Oklahoma EMS provider. 20 years this year. We're started out in Bedford, the north part of the state. Provide ALS service to 11 different stations, about 2,500 square miles of rural Oklahoma. That's what our specialty and passion is, rural part of the state. We're, like I said, we're a private ambulance service, but we're in this for the small towns. That's how we were founded. I say you have the opportunity here for 2 great small private Oklahoma companies. And there's not a lot to differentiate there because we're all passionate and care about helping people. That's why we came here today. So if you have any questions.
So explain that. You're throughout rural Oklahoma, but you're based in Medford.
Yes, that's where we're founded. We have 911 service there.
Who's the closest one you serve?
From here, it is just the north part of Oklahoma City from Edmond, Deer Creek, or from Craig and Stroud in Union County.
Where, I'm sorry, to expose my ignorance, but I can't remember where Medford is.
Bedford is 15 miles from the Kansas border, just south I-35. And so we cover from the Oklahoma City limits along the I-35 corridor all the way to the Kansas line. A little bit in some part of the state.
Thank you for explaining that.
And I'm gonna direct this at Mark again, I know, and this is, we're comparing apples to apples. 2 ambulances, and then is it gonna be 1 paramedic, 1 EMT for each of these
Yes.
ambulances? Correct, and that's the same for each of the
Yes.
services. Except for, I'll let Ms. Wadley present that one, yeah.
Well, these other puzzles, I mean, do they know what each other did?
But it was a bid that was put out with the same.
RFP, yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if they
Well, I'm gonna ask one more question. So would you, in theory, should we award the contract with you, would you respond as our current service is you take them to the closest best hospital based on their, whatever's going on with them?
We take them to the hospital of their choice if that hospital has the capability to treat.
Well, no, that's not my question. You take them to the best hospital based on their physical manifestation of what's going on with them. Like if they needed heart hospital, you'd go there.
Yes,
Because you guys know what you're doing. I mean, you know if somebody's having a heart attack.
right, yes, we
Yes.
take them where they need to go.
And whether they can express that or not, you take them to the best facility to meet the triage.
That's correct.
As a question, if you got him based out of Medford doing a lot of stuff in OKC North, having a footprint, I mean, it's an hour south of maybe Oklahoma City. Does that present any kind of like staffing challenges for you guys? I mean, when you guys put in a new spot, maybe it's in your footprint, it's a little easier, but if it's outside of it, how do you guys approach that?
It is a little bit more challenging in new areas, so like in this bid, I considered that for it being a higher pay rate than it is in some areas, because we don't have the excess capacity when we drop down to just move somebody from another base quite as easily. So what we still do, we have a robust inter-facility transfer service as well that we base on Tulsa and Oklahoma City. So anytime we have staffing issues in one of the 911 bases, we just rotate one of those inter-facility trucks so that are serving the city down here to make sure that it's always covered.
And so what we have is 1 year, but you're saying it'd be 5 years. You'd anticipate going up 3%.
Yes.
Thank you.
What's 3% of them?
You got it.
Yeah, that would be that.
Hello, I'm Rick Bigger, I'm the Director of Operations for American Medical Response. We are the largest pre-hospital provider of ambulances in the United States. We have multiple, we have Fairfax, Edmond, Weatherford, about half of Caddo County for the western Oklahoma City area that we cover in. Here now, we have about 3,000 across the United States that were different stations, about 7,500 total ambulances. We're also we're the sister company to Airvax. We have an Airvax station here in Pauls Valley, obviously, as well as 20 plus other locations in Oklahoma. As far as we're privileged to, bid for a chance to come to Pauls Valley and expand down here and help you guys out. We will provide 2 ambulances. Everybody else will also providing a QRV, quick response vehicle that will also have a paramedic on it. That QRV is designed if there are more than 2 calls at a time. You're always going to have a paramedic that is here in the area. They can show up and they can treat until they can coordinate mutual aid with somebody around the area. We can utilize air, et cetera, to get that taken care of. Or recycle an ambulance from the last call if that's the quickest option, whatever that is. We'll also have an educator position. We have one that's shared between our different bases, so they will educate our employees, we'll also provide education to the fire department. We have the Airvac also. The Airvac station also provides a clinical educator that assists with that as well, so we can provide an education. We have across Texas in Wichita Falls, We also have another air base and another ground station there. Those multiple stations in the area allow us to provide staff, we can move them around, we can move between any of our facilities and work. It's all the same company, and we can move wherever you'd like to go. As far as trucks goes, we'll also provide new trucks, new stretchers, everything will be brand new that comes here. Down here, we'll also have the backup trucks. We'll have the two primary, they'll both be paramedic and EMT. We'll have the QRV, which will have the paramedic. We'll have a backup truck that's here in case our truck breaks down. Beyond that, we have a backup truck in each of the places that I named that's ready to be moved as well. We have a truck factory in Mineral Wells, Texas, not that far from here. There we manufacture our own ambulances, we also do all the repairs, so we can get vehicles here anytime that we need. So it gives us that ability. Any questions?
I know like Air Evac has like a membership type model, they can buy things, it's preventative sort of stuff. With the partnership that you guys have with them, is there anything similar through AMR that
It
for
is not
citizens to?
covered, it is not covered ground. There's not a membership as part of the RFP. It would have to be something that was part of our negotiated, but we do not have that in this bid. No.
And then the QRV vehicle, is it just a vehicle, so I understand it, so if you have the two ambulances out and you have emergencies going on and you need to move a paramedic to another spot, it's like a separate vehicle that can get them, because they may be rendering aid to somebody through one of the trucks, right?
Yes.
And the QRV is just moving the paramedic where
It
they
is
need to go.
it is a Ford Explorer Interceptor, similar to a police vehicle. And it has a monitor and a bag in it. And it's operated by the supervisor that'll do your everyday day-to-day operations. And he'll be able to help respond to all this ones.
So you're based out of, your parent company's in Mineral Wells.
Our parent company is actually Louisville, Texas, near Dallas. We're also getting a 5-year contract. That contract will be for the price. It'll have the 3% escalator as well each year.
So, and my apologies, because I was flipping through here, trying to find your information. So where's the closest one to us that you're serving?
Weatherford, or it would be Caddo County. It's in Beaver, Oklahoma. Weatherford or Edmond, they're all those are those.
Well, I'm nosy, I ask a lot of questions.
Anything else?
Thank you for your time.
So I'm Jackie Wadley with Wadley's EMS. We're located out in Rochelle. We also have truck stations in Stratford. We have covered parts of Cleveland, McLean, Garvin County. We've been in Rochelle 52 years. We have focused more on the small communities in the local area than trying to go statewide. We do offer a membership program outside of the RFP. Most of the cities that we operate do the utility assessment, which is similar to the membership program. Like I say, we've been in Rochelle for 52 years. We've had Wynnewood and Stratford since 2019. We're probably, the four of us, the service that's the closest to Pauls Valley. Currently, we cover 3 sides of Pauls Valley's coverage area. We butt up to Pauls Valley with Wynnewood and Stratford, and then we also have the town of Maysville, so we have that. Elmore City's our other, that surround the Pauls Valley coverage area. That's, unless y'all got questions for me, that's about.
And you had the two options.
I did, I was about.
Yeah, and one was for like, basically one paramedic EMT, so there'd be 2 trucks, one could be staffed that way. And then, the other option was like an advanced and a basic EMT.
Correct. And so the reason I went ahead and gave y'all the 2 options is in the area that we serve now with Wynnewood, Stratford, and Purcell, about 80% of our calls do not require any paramedic interventions. So that's why I gave y'all that option was, not everybody requires that paramedic intervention, but if the other truck, there would be at least one truck that would have a paramedic under that option.
The other,
Under the
Right,
less
so the
option.
first option was 2 paramedic trucks, 2 paramedics, 2 basics on those trucks. The second option was a paramedic basic truck and an advanced basic truck. So our protocols that we currently operate off of, about the only thing that my advanced EMTs can't do is the narcotic pain medications. We can give epinephrine, cardiac arrest, we can give Zofran for patients with nausea and vomiting, and I don't know what, the other, protocols are for the other services. We can give Solu-Medrol for breathing problems, so, we've got a pretty, stout, protocol for our advanced EMTs.
How do you decide which roles?
That would, we typically, like in Purcell, we have 3 trucks 24 hours a day. When we would Stratford, we have 1. So it's a lot of it's off of what the dispatch, gives us. Now, is dispatch always correct? No. But in the case of, if the dispatch gave us a call that, it's, somebody hurt their leg, they get there and it's cardiac arrest, if the paramedic truck was here, it would go take that call. We do run a paramedic in Leewood, and then I have 2 paramedics on duty at Purcell.
So when you talk about the 2 options, the advanced basic, you have 1 paramedic and 1 truck, and I'm just not an expert in being an EMT or paramedic, but in that way, what's probably the most typical setup for a town our size?
I can tell you in Purcell, I'm required to have 1 paramedic, and I make over 3,000 calls a year there. The town only requires me to have 1 paramedic on shift. They don't care what the other trucks are.
And that's basically that
And
lesser
then-
option.
And I'll be honest with you, the further rural you get, like AMR, they've got a large employee base. There's not a lot of paramedics in the Pauls Valley area that work local. The further out you get away from the city, you start losing paramedics. That's where that advanced level medic comes in. And there's a lot of services that are running basic EMTs. Stratford has 2 basic EMTs on that truck. That's all they wanted at the time. And
That's all they can afford.
um,
That's all they can afford.
yeah, exactly.
So another question, so let's say like you wanted to do the lesser option, right, the advanced and the basic, and let's say, because yours is a 5-year contract
It
as
is a
well, with
5-year
3%
contract.
escalator each year.
It does not have an escalator,
No
because my feeling is if I need to come back to the town and I need an increase, I wanna come to y'all and explain why I need that increase. None of my contracts, and I have like eight, I believe, 8 different towns, and, that, none of them have an automatic, increase in them, because I feel like that if I need an increase, I need to come back and explain to you why.
Let's say there was a 5-year term, no increases, and then let's say that we opted for the lesser option the first year. And let's say for whatever reason, I don't know what it would be, we felt like we needed to go to option 2, the more expensive. How difficult is that to do within, is that just a new contract?
It would
Is that
just be, changing personnel, changing.
And then the billing would be different,
The cost difference in the 2 is what we change.
So, go ahead, finish your thoughts.
So, that, I gave you all those 2 options, just simply because I've ran this area for so many years. I've owned the service in Purcell 23 years myself. And so, the population, and the calls, and we currently, we mutual aid Mercy, currently when their trucks are out, we send a truck for, Wingwood, Stratford, or Purcell, whichever, is closer. So, it's just, that I put that option in there just simply because being around this area, all of my life, and running the ambulance service, I kind of,
You have some knowledge base, you made that decision.
Right.
So, when you pick someone up, where do you roll?
So we take them to the closest appropriate facility. If the patient doesn't have a choice or doesn't say, hey, take me, to the heart hospital or OU or whatever. So, of course, in most cases, from Pauls Valley, the closest appropriate for us, Norman, Ada, and Ardmore are all about the same distance. There are, we do, we mutual aided, and even in Wheatwood, we have have transported patients to Ardmore. We've transported patients to the Indian hospitals, Ada and Mercy. The way
It
the
wouldn't
rules.
be in default, Purcell Hospital, and I know it's a good
Purcell
hospital,
Hospital would not be involved.
because that's your main,
Right.
and it's a good hospital, I would not
Purcell would
mind being
not be-
transported there, but.
Would not be the default hospital. We look at the patient's condition, what they need. Level 1 traumas, we're either gonna put an air evac helicopter, or depending on the weather, or we're driving from Tennessee to OU.
Appreciate that. That's because I subscribe to air ambulance, I want to roll in it. I'm getting older, and these things are more important to me than they used to be.
I want to ask kind of a random question, because, I'm not an expert in ambulance trucks or anything. So,
We're trying to curb apples to apples.
yeah, so looking at like what our needs are, like QRV vehicles sound cool and interesting, right? Like it's from a safety thing, and then from a practical standpoint, like how much would something like that be utilized? And it's probably hard for you to answer on somebody else's RFP sort of bid stuff, but I'm just trying to understand, like, how much is that moving that paramedic around helpful?
So I have a supervisor in Purcell, matter of fact, he's with me right now, that has a vehicle that's equipped with lights and siren, and he goes to all 3 of our stations just about every day. With us being 7 miles to Wynnewood, having an additional, vehicle wouldn't be beneficial for us, because we're supposed to. If Pauls Valley, and I know Mercy, they get busy, Pauls Valley is one of those towns that seems like all the calls come at one time, and then you do nothing. We have the ability to move trucks from Purcell, Wynnewood, Stratford, whichever ones we need to,
So mutual aid.
right, mutual aid. So, if something big happened in Pauls Valley, I could have my trucks from Purcell, at least 2 of them, within 20 minutes in Pauls Valley.
I'm gonna put our police chief and our fire chief on the spot here, guys. So do you see this happen on a daily basis or weekly basis where,
I see that we have, more instances than not. I feel like we have, we're calling for Watley's, or we're calling for Emerson, we're calling for Stratford, or somebody to come assist.
Mutual aid.
because there's
Because
fire
they're not
and
just-
things on the
because Mercy's not
interstate.
just covering Pauls Valley, they're covering Paola as well. So we have to send them to Paola, and then, let's just say Wiley's is on a call in Wynnewood, they send somebody there, and now they have another call in Wynnewood, we have nobody here. And so I see that happen a lot.
So it's a common occurrence,
I feel like it is.
even with the existing ambulance we have now.
Yes, I feel like it is, yeah, it's just busy, we're busy.
But what we have now, you see that everybody is supporting one another.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, don't get me wrong, everybody's supporting, no one's pounding their chest trying to be better than the other, we're all here.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yes.
So equipment wise, I mean,
I have the ambulances, matter of fact, some of it's been to where there's a big EMS conference in Norman right now. My brand new truck is sitting at that conference. Bought 3 brand new ambulances in the last 7 months. I have the equipment, to be able to, the only thing I would have to do is start recruiting employees. And from my understanding, this doesn't go, the contract currently goes to September the 1st, and that's whenever the. Any more questions?
so, question for Jay and Joe. So this contract, again, he mentioned it runs through the summer. So I know we couldn't talk about this, and I guess we're trying to ask is there a way we can discuss this without,
making a decision.
Yes.
privately? It have to be, any discussion would have to be in public meeting like this.
We don't want to violate the Open Meeting Act, but this is a lot of information you've given us on one night. I don't want to make a decision tonight.
Yeah, your discussion needs to be, it's not the hiring fires motion, it's a motion of the board. And it's an open bid process, so the discussion has to be in open meeting. It doesn't have to
So it would have to be here one way or the other.
It doesn't have to be right now.
I'm fine making a decision, but I'm just,
For you guys.
I just sense that maybe not everyone is, so
I can make a decision tonight.
We're just discussing it.
So,
Yes, absolutely.
question for Mark, because I didn't want to start asking you guys, well, one's talking, you know. So, and you can come, turn around and look at them, I can tell you, but, so, every ambulance is gonna have an EMT.
Yes.
Okay. First, okay, okay. Just,
There'll be 2 trucks.
Yeah, well, every one of them have an EMT and a paramedic.
now, there was one, Mr. Wally had one
A different option.
option, and there, one truck would not have it.
I understand him giving us that option, but if you're thinking about at all, even trying to go with that option, you're gonna have to redo RFPs, so it's fair to let everyone else do.
So we should just consider.
So this is considered-
Consider it great.
That's fine, I mean, that's why we're asking questions.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, because no one else, you know, that's
Did.
not how it's sent out. And I understand what he says, a lot of the calls are, just EMT based, you know, you wouldn't need a paramedic. But there are several of them we get every day that are paramedic calls. So, like I said, if you wanna look at like his option B, we'd have to send them out to let everybody else give us that option after the year.
So
That's
all,
gonna be the RFP thing, the RFP has to match what we put out.
I'm totally okay with throwing out his options, but, so all 4 of them that we've been presented tonight is 24/7, 2 trucks, comparable paramedics.
I was going to show you the, I think those are the costs.
Okay. Okay, you gotta say this where everybody can hear it, guys.
we all have.
Yeah, you do, discussion, open meeting act, you have to speak openly, talk quietly.
That's in your packet.
Yes, I know, that's why, there was a lot of information to be absorbing, because I didn't see this back until tonight, I don't know if I did receive it.
It shows the annual cost.
So annual cost, but no escalator with the 3% escalator. So within 2 years, that would be above that within 24 months because it's got a 3% escalator.
Well, what I look at is
Thank you
with
for
the
explaining that.
with the substitute we get,
I'm a home ec teacher and a counselor, math is not strong suit for me.
I like that.
And y'all seen it, Mercy and, Miller were higher than AMR and Wadley's, and we'll probably get on our subsidies. AMR for 3 years would be basically pretty close to, at year 3, it would go a little above our. And at some point, we're gonna have to look at some other funding. 3 years, they would be right, Floyd or right at, last 2 years, they'd be above it. Like I say, this is kind of hard, because I've been going back and forth because it's so close. Wadley's with no, no escalator is above it.
For the first 2 years.
By the
First 2 years, by the third year,
would be higher. And they'd be higher to year 4 and 5.
AMR's would, yes. But, yeah, years 4 and 5, they would be more than Wadley's.
Correct.
And then overall, the 2 of them, if you take all 5 years, total it up, I'm sure y'all might have done it, it's like $26,000 difference over 5 years. Yeah. So.
And I'll just say, I'm sort of looking at AMR and Wadley's, and just speaking, it's, Jay, if I'm saying stuff I shouldn't be saying, stop. And so when I look at not having an escalator is appealing, and I'm seeing the Wadley's, and it'd be similar services of a paramedic and EMT. You have two EMTs. You have mutual aid, could be a little easier conceptually, because they're already servicing the area around us. And I don't know if I'm thinking of that wrong, you have to tell me. You're shaking your head maybe no. But,
No, you're not.
okay. So in my mind, the cost, I mean, if you're looking
The
at
cost is the
best and most affordable, that kind of fits that bar in my mind, you know, and so that's sort of where I'm at. And I've appreciated all the guys being here, I appreciate Mercy being here, you know, with all the, but if you're looking at similar services and cost and where we're gonna bring it, I mean, that's where my head sort of sits right now.
Well, what I was looking at was, like I was saying, the part, until we can get something figured out, to bring in some more funding. Like I was saying, AMR's is, the first 3 years, the third year is just a little above what we're bringing. So, the last 2 years is obviously above. So, and I'm just trying to throw everything out there. Sure. But I've been trying to work this out.
You've been working on it.
So that gives us 3 years to figure out something.
AMR is the one that's the air ambulance as well.
So it gives you 3 years, to come up with something. And then after that, also, like I was saying, it's above it, it's 11,000 above, Jackie can then put 30,000 above year 5. So you're, like I say, either one of them's great services, but just thinking about, you know, financial situation the city's in, we've had to cut all kinds of stuff, everything's, you know.
So being below for the first 2 years would be, give you a little breathing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with something, but this is gonna keep going up.
But in actuality, I mean, the three of us were on this board the last time this came up, and it's not going up. It didn't go up.
Well, it didn't go up with these.
These were lower. These were actually lower.
It's staying the same with Mercy and.
Right.
You know, it was a little higher.
There's a significant difference in cost, Mercy and.
But, you know, if it stayed the same, you know, they keep going up 3%, you know, on what we're doing now. It's just something, you know, we have to figure out something else besides what we've come up with so far. That's the only thing you know, to me it's separate.
So the 3% escalator, it goes up on. So if the first year's $100, the second year's $103, is it 3% of the 103 that goes up? Yeah, okay, so it's not 3% of the original, it's 3. Just make sure we got it.
Right.
So just to make the math easy, it's $100, it's gonna go up to 103 second year, and then it's gonna be 3% of the 103 next year, the 3%.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, you know, you get year 3, we're kind of maxed out on the subsidies that we have to operate off of. And then it obviously goes above it. But, I'm not trying to take anything exactly or nothing, but it, you know, it starts day 1, we're already above it. But like I say, the bulk rate services is just, it's easier when somebody's way low, you know, lower or something, it's easier. But I went all over it and over it and over it.
So by year 3, the difference is gonna occur, so you're gonna save $40,000 in AMR in years 1 and 2 for a total of 80. So I'm trying to get to the total, I mean, they're pretty comparable. I mean, you're gonna save early, you're gonna save late, you know. And
So you're saying Wadley and AMR.
they're pretty similar, you know, in
Your
the math.
cost is almost exactly.
As long as
By the time you get to year 3, they're really close.
they're really close, and then you're gonna be paying more with AMR in years 4 and 5
Right.
to the tune
But
of,
you pay less.
so in the 5th year, you'd be paying 600, well, you're gonna be paying, can I say the number?
Yeah.
$644K versus
On
on
what?
AMR's 5th year, you're gonna be paying $644K at that
I
estimate.
got 630, but.
Well, I got 644, it's 15%, that'd be 5% or 3% over 5 years, 15%. So that's the math that I got. But,
But it doesn't go up to.
so you're gonna be paying a little bit more in the first 2 years with Wadley, but you're gonna be level for the remaining 3, 4, and 5, right? And it won't be above the
Well, no, it won't be that, but like I was saying, we only get around 580, somewhere
580.
there on our subsidy. So,
Okay, so with the subsidy we get, it would completely pay for AMR and Wadley at this point.
It paid for AMR for the first 2 years.
yes.
Right.
And then it's a little above year three.
It's 20 grand above in year 3.
Right.
So I got about
Yes.
20 grand above in year 3, and then it goes to, by the time you get to year 5, it's like 64K above. Versus you're basically at 20K above each of the years, so it's 100,000
It
total.
was 16,800, 13, 17,304.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So they're almost similar. That's what makes it kind of tough.
Well,
16,800 to it.
Right, and the other thing with Wadley is, if
We get a rough picture.
they say they're not gonna go up, but if they see that it's necessary they go up, we're gonna be negotiating with them every year. In theory. In actual fact, we pray not, but since they haven't given us a 5-year figure, we don't really know.
Well, Wadley's just saying they're not gonna, I mean, he'll come back and talk to us. I mean, I get anyone can come and, come back to the
They
council.
all can do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he
That's
gets,
true,
And they're all got a contract.
that's true.
So, they all got a contract.
at least these are the prices we can see, the costs we can see right now, what they're gonna be. So,
Pleasure.
Okay.
So your recommendation is AMR?
Well, I can, like I say, both of them. I'm just trying to think, look out, and I hate, because I know Jackie, I think he's got great service, it's just, now in my position where I'm at, I have to look out for city money. And I
So
just,
do
I
we.
just know that, and that's what I'm saying, I have to look out for,
But over 5 years.
over 5 years,
it's
it's about the same money.
exactly, it's just what I'm saying is it gives us
Breathing
a
room
little
first 2 years.
breathing for me to get, a while to go back to work, and try to figure out
What we can do.
where it comes up.
Joe, and I'm just gonna ask you, because we're looking at the budget, and you look at the math as much as anybody. So with what he's saying, getting breathing room for 2 years, and when the math over the 5 years between those two companies is almost identical, what are your thoughts? I'm curious to hear
Well-
you're messing with the budget.
I mean, someone could, it'd be nice to have 40,000 sitting there floating. Now, again, it'd be nice to have that extra money, because like down the road, we're saying hopefully make improvements down the road, support, saving 40,000 the first 2 years is great when we're so close. Now,
You're gonna cringe me saying this, but the big scheme of things, $40,000.
isn't much.
And then you're gonna be paying for it in years 3, 4, and 5.
Right, and so this one, I mean, it's nice to turn around and save a little bit, because we turn around and see it's like, 40,000 might be where we're, we break even, or we have a positive year or a negative year. But down the road, it could be the same thing, just give us longer down the road. It all comes in, it's like, you're basically, you're kicking the can down the road, but what's gonna give us the best service?
That's
Now-
the deal.
Is it, the little we save, is it worth? And I couldn't tell you the services, I'm the new person in town, I have worked with AMR before, they were in Dalhart, that's who provided us in Dalhart.
So you're familiar.
So I'm familiar with that company, because that's what served the town that I was at before. There were any problems, but they were there, and I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if the person from here had been to Dalhart, but
A bit there.
their ambulance service, their ambulance service was stationed in our old jail, and there were people that were on deal slept in jail cell, old jail cells. It was awful until we finally built them a new ambulance place.
And each one of these outfits are responsible for finding.
For finding their own housing.
Yeah, that was in RFP, they have to get their own housing, contract or get with, 911 center, for dispatching services, because of, even right now, Dawn at PD is paying for fire, police, EMS, dispatching services. So this time I broke it away, so that'll be part of their responsibility is getting set up with 911 center dispatch.
Okay. So, it comes down like, when you turn around and look at what they offer, Wadley being close by doesn't have to have a quick response because again, they're right there down the road at, when they're on four sides of the street, really, aren't they? That they're there while the others they're putting something here. That I don't know about ambulance service, is that a benefit or not? I think you asked the same question. What's the benefit? Wadley has a deal because they're close, they know all around us, they're on three sides of us, they're able to move staff in and out, move vehicles in and out, while the others have to come a little bit further.
I'd be curious to ask Scott or Don, and again, I'm not saying to pick one, but like the concept of having, if your mutual aid is who you pick, right? Because they do mutual aid around 3 areas of us, right? Is that a helpful thing? I mean, like having coverage that's been here close. I don't know. I mean, just in an emergency situation.
In my opinion, it doesn't matter who you had. You call for mutual aid. Again, like I said, we're all here for the public. They're coming to help if they're available.
Why is it beneficial in our decision making? Like we got a group that's really proximal, covers a lot of area around us. Is that a factor we should be considering in emergency situations in this deal?
I feel like if you kept Mercy and you called for, and Mercy called for Wadley's to come help, Wadley's is coming. If you did,
I just mean in the selection process, if someone has a footprint in an area versus someone not having a footprint in an area, does that affect your decision making if you're as an emergency responder?
No, I don't think so.
That's what I'm curious.
Now, I think the field they're in, they care about people's lives and responding, so they're going to respond to.
I mean, they're here for us.
I haven't had to call an ambulance once or twice in my life. I was very grateful for.
Because when they pull up, I'm not looking beside the ambulance who pulled up to help my loved one. They're here to help me. So.
Okay, Mark, what else should we be asking you?
Whatever, I don't know, whatever y'all are, I'm sure about.
So the other thing, and I would just say, that runs through my mind on the math, if you're, below what you're having to kind of pay with the subsidy currently for the first 2 years, it does give you the ability to let sales tax revenues and some other things, property tax, depending on whatever votes happen, escalate to catch up to the difference. So you would be under that, you know what I'm saying? If this number been under that for 2 years, sales, property tax, sales tax stuff changes, increases. The subsidy could increase, I'm guessing, associated with some of those things. And that's all
It's
part of the
possible,
formula
like I
for subsidy.
say, however it comes out,
Subsidies
starting
and
tomorrow,
county
starting
funds.
now,
That's-
I'll start like I did a few years ago and trying to figure out a way to help supplement it or something. Just so it keeps the cost down for the city.
No, I haven't been on city council that long, but this is one of the most difficult decisions that face us because it affects every citizen.
Right.
So we do want to,
Be diligent,
yes.
in making a decision, because it does.
Mr. Wadley, I have a question for you. So I was on, the three of us were on here last time, and I'm just curious, your number is significantly different than it was last time you bid.
I didn't bid the last time.
Well, you bid it, and then we rebid it because there was, but they were within a few weeks of each other. But quite a bit difference. So my concern is when there's no escalator and you bid it once before and it was 25% higher, 20%
I
higher.
honestly don't remember what the last bid was.
So it's concerning to me that this is quite a bit lower, and I'm just worried. Why? I mean, what's the? Because my concern is 2 years from now, you're gonna come in here because last time you bid it was, like I said, 6 figures more mean, quite a bit more, and my concern is that, you ran the numbers different 5 years ago.
I
mean,
honestly can't tell you why.
okay, I just was
Why it
curious.
was higher then than it is now.
But my hesitation is without having locked in, you're locked into this price, but you're also saying next year if there's changes, you're going to present those changes to us.
Well, that would be any of the,
Yeah, I understand, but you're saying up front that's happening, where the others are presenting us a 5-year plan. And in my world, changes do happen every year, and I'm a little bit, concerned about that we're gonna have to renegotiate with you every year. And I don't want that to happen.
I mean, if you look, CPI typically runs close to that 3%. So, if there's a CPI, you can kind of expect a 3% increase.
correct, I'm prepared, I think I am too. Are you guys, okay? So, and I'll state why I'm kind of doing this, and then I'm gonna make a motion. But I think the one thing I want to do, and I think all of the city here would, we want a great service for town. We appreciate all the RFPs from everybody. But the other thing is I want to support you. I mean, you've done a lot of work on this, and I think the financial constraints of the city that everyone hears about everywhere Joe goes. And now we're at a thing, and people are like, well, how many times do you say we don't have any money?
Seems like daily sometimes.
Daily. And sometimes multiple times. But I think with that being said, the ability to create some gap below the subsidy currently buys you a little bit of breathing room. It seems like you want, and I want to respect that. And I feel like the services amongst all four would be fantastic. But the ability to be below the subsidy, and then the overall 5-year plan is the same cost. I think it meets some of what you're wanting to do. And so my motion would be for us to accept the bid from AMR as presented in our packet and through our conversation.
I'll second.
Then probably moved and seconded to accept the bid from AMR as presented in the packet. Councilman, Trustee Nerschel,
Yes.
Trustee Grimmett,
Yes.
Trustee Meisel.
Before I make my decision, this goes into effect in September,
When our other contracts ends, which I believe is
so my vote is yes.
Chairman Rushing.
Yes.
It's not easy to do, guys.
No, it's not.
This hard to look out the room. That's what you have.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be disowned by my entire family because they're Mercy people. I'm from,
I appreciate every service that's been
Reno,
here. Wadley does
Archie,
mutual aid. Mercy's done a
Oklahoma
great
City.
job for us. I mean, I know, AMR's gonna do a good job. Miller, appreciate everybody being here, but it's just all the math and everything else coming together and
we have to make
That's
the
the
right
only
decision.
thing, like I say, this is, me trying to figure out,
We
trying
get
to
you.
explain, and it's been really hard for me, because, like I said, Jackie puts in a bid pretty much every time. It's been good to the city.
Services.
and I was really torn.
But the only thing it's just money, before, if we were all right, it might be, it's probably different. But since I've been lucky enough to get this job, I've found out that you have to look for every penny you can save just because, financial situation in cities, trying to help turn it around. So it's a tough decision. I hate it sometimes.
Well, I will say something to Mercy. I live in the bank across the street. I'm there every day. And I've never heard a complaint. In all honesty, never heard about you taking someone somewhere to Mercy and they wanted to go to Northern Regional. So I appreciate y'all being that way. Because that's your first inclination, I would think, is if you're a Mercy employee, would be to take them to a Mercy hospital. But I never really got why they got that. So, and I appreciate that. This is for what it's worth. I mean, for what it's worth.
If it was apples to apples, we'd probably stay with the company, but it's not. It's a significant difference in price.
So, anyway, do we vote yet? We vote.
Yeah.
So we'll
You
do,
voted.
where we at?
A motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded to adjourn. Trustee Grimmett,
Yes.
Trustee Nerschel.
Yes.
Trustee Meisel.
Yes.
Chairman Rushing.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Guys, I appreciate y'all showing me the map.
See y'all. I'll call you.